So there's no way around it. Charleston is full of tourists, just like this. And while most people talk about that tourism is bad and it causes congestion, there's actually a lot of good things about tourism that benefit the locals. So today we're going to discuss those good and a few of the bad. And so recently I did a video where I went through some reviews that people did of Charleston, and a recurring theme was tourism. So we came down to one of the biggest tourist attractions here in Charleston, Rainbow Row, to talk about the benefits that tourism actually bring to the city. And Charleston has had an amazing rebound in the tourist industry from pre-pandemic to now. And coincidentally, there was an article that came out while I was looking through the Charleston Business Journal that talked about this exact thing. So the timing was perfect. So we're going to go through what they said and also some things that I think they missed on why tourism is actually a huge benefit to people that actually live here. Now, if you're new here, I'm Bill Olson. I am a local realtor. And if you're looking to make a move in the next 3 days to 3 years, I'd love to be your realtor of choice. And if you're just coming to visit and be a tourist, if you got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. So let's talk about this tourism industry. So let's talk about first this rebound in the tourism industry. From 2019, we took a dip during the pandemic, and now we're back and busier than ever. But see, here's the crazy thing. The economic impact in 2019 from tourism was $7 billion. And the economic impact in 2023 was $13 billion. So one would think that the number of tourists has almost doubled. Actually, the number of tourists only went up 8%. The biggest difference is the spending. On average, an adult visiting Charleston is spending $170 to $200 more than they used to be. So we're seeing this increase in revenue with not much increase in tourism traffic. And that is a huge benefit to locals here in Charleston, because that is a lot more sales tax coming in. That is a lot more people spending money on local goods and services and art and supporting the community here without having more people to congest the roads a little bit more than they already are. And the biggest thing with this also, when we look at the traffic side, more people are flying into Charleston than ever before. So when we see people coming in now, they're not driving in and congesting the roads. They're flying into the airport, they're getting downtown, they're getting to the beach, Mount Pleasant, wherever they're going. They're kind of staying there, or they're using a rideshare, which is a car that's already on our roads to begin with. So it's not adding to our traffic. Now, this is another huge benefit to locals, because with more people coming into our airport, we are seeing massive expansions in our airport with a new terminal, new parking garages, and new direct flights to many places around the country. So because of these tourists coming in and using our airports, that is a benefit to the locals, because we get the benefit of all these extra flights to go and be tourists in other cities where they can complain about us. And this increase in airport traffic, the airport announced that in 2020, they did 2 million passengers. By 2023, they had 7 million passengers. So these were the two main points that this article brought up. So we've got increase in sales tax income for the city, which decreases the burden of taxes on locals. Now, in the article, it said that this could be less that locals would pay in taxes, but I don't know about you, taxes rarely go down. So I don't see how that's going to make our taxes go down. I just think that the more income we have from sales tax revenue, the slower maybe the increase of our tax rates will be. And with people spending more, that's bringing a lot more nicer hotels into the area where we're bringing higher spenders. I wouldn't be surprised if 2024, 2025, 2026, we see that $13 billion number rise exponentially more than the actual number of visitors that we see. And while the article did mention this taxes and the economy, one thing they didn't mention is the increase in jobs that the tourism industry brings. Now, on average, the United States sits at about a 4% unemployment rate. Charleston right now is at 2.3%. Now, I know that's not all tourism based, but when we look at what's happening around here, as people are spending more and more people are coming here, that is more restaurants opening. As these hotels open up, hundreds more jobs, not just working in the hotels, but in construction to build these hotels. And it's also pushing the entrepreneurial spirit and the small businesses. Now, when people come visit places, they don't want to go out to eat at Chili's or TGI Fridays. Do those even exist still? But they want to go to a local restaurant. They want to buy locally made souvenirs and local art. So all of this money isn't going to your Walmarts and your Targets. Yeah, if you need a toothbrush, you're going to go there. But if you want to bring something home for a friend or something to hang in your house to remember the trip by, you're not going to one of those big box stores. You're probably coming downtown, you're going to go on an art walk, and you're going to find a piece of art, and you're bringing that money straight back into this community, which is helping people start these businesses and create jobs. I think another thing that's not talked about enough when it comes to tourism is how it fuels and funds preservation. Here in Charleston, there's the preservation of historic sites, historic homes, parks, beaches. Yes, they would all still be there if there were no tourists, but think about it this way. The tourists are the ones that are buying tickets into these historic home museums and spending the money at the Preservation Society and doing all of this that brings in the money to make sure that these homes don't go to ruin. If the tourists weren't around, that whole burden would fall on the residents. And I don't think enough residents go to these places to fully fund them with what they need to do to keep up these 200, 300, 400-year-old homes. So the more tourists we have, then you also have that incentive for the beaches and the parks to be as beautiful as they can for the locals to also attract tourists who are paying the money and bringing that into our community. But the one thing that's not so great about all of the tourism is it does drive up prices. I'm not talking about just home prices, I'm talking about just the prices of everything downtown, where when you have all of these people trying to get into one restaurant and trying to get into one place, they know that they can charge a premium because there's more people trying to get in, supply and demand. So for locals, it does become a little more difficult to go out to eat. It's more expensive. It's harder to get into some of these restaurants downtown if that's where you want to go. But remember, there are amazing places in Mount Pleasant, James Island, Johns Island, Somerville, West Ashley, everywhere where you can go eat and avoid the influx of tourists overtaking your favorite restaurants. So what do you think? Is tourism a bad thing or is it a good thing? For me, I'm here for it. I think it is one of the amazing things about living here in Charleston that I live somewhere that people want to travel to visit. And if you're ready to be a local and not a tourist, go ahead and email me at info@livinginchs.com and let's get that ball rolling. I'll see you on the next video.